Hello, and welcome back to Chef Brittany's World. So, first off, let me just say I appreciate all of you who are subscribing to my channel, sharing, and telling all of your friends about it. I definitely appreciate it. So, today, I really want to have a culinary conversation, and I want to talk about stages. So, let's get into it.
Down in the place to be. Forget your cares and more, most definitely. Down in the place to be. Forget your cares and more, most definitely.
Okay, so to start off, in the culinary world, I'm going to be very thorough. For those of you who work in the food service industry, and that has many levels and categories to it, I'm going to be as thorough and authentic as possible for you to understand, because a lot of the book work and all that doesn't really make a difference. We're talking about the culinary world. Okay, so culinary world, a stage is the French word for stage. And the culinary, if you've gone to culinary school, the culinary industry on paper is based off of France, the French army. It's very militant. They use a lot of army. It comes from that. Um, so the French word for stage is stage. So in the culinary industry, if you are seeking to be a chef, that is line cook, prep cook, people don't realize there's so many other foundations under chef. They just see the word chef and think you're a cook at the end of the day. But there are levels to it. So let's say a company is looking to employ you, or you are looking to get employed with a company. They may ask you to do a stage, depending on the company. So we're talking about, and I'm just being very thorough because I want to break this down carefully, talking about stages, because I've been wanting to talk about stages for a while. So if it's like a fast food, whatever, no, we're talking about wearing chef coats, or a fast food restaurant may try you with that, but you're getting tried. So chef coat, mainly line cooks, where you got to show them you can work on the grill, you can work a fryer, you can work these different things in the kitchen, or you can prep, or the culinary terms FIFO and 86, and your kitchen words, coming down hot behind you, things like that. So companies that legit use stages, to just make sure the people that they're hiring can actually do the job that they're hiring for, that does exist. So I'm not completely here to bash stages or anything like that. I just want anyone who is watching this video to know there's some there's some difference. Like, don't always just be gung-ho to go on a stage. Do your research, check it out, because there are companies out here where it's a waste of time. So just so you know, okay, let's start from the basis, right? A stage is unpaid, period. You are volunteering to go to a company's establishment that you're seeking employment at, and show them for free that you can do what the job is asking you to do for them to give you a job. Now, this is when it gets, and I'm being so serious about this. There's a reason I made this video. Because I know there's a lot of people out there who are working as line cooks, prep cook. It doesn't matter. Cook, or cook is at the end of your title, or even sous chefs, or da 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 da. The term stage in the culinary world, just be very mindful and know when it's an actual stage and when you're wasting your time, or you are having your time wasted. So that is the point of this video. My fellow cooks out there, I done it all, okay? I'm in full support. And this is just to let them know, like, don't always just, and what methods to take upon it. So, most stages should be nowhere over 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours, 2.5 hours or so, but 2-3 hours. And I'm gonna be real with you, it don't take that long to figure out if you want to hire someone or not. Maybe an hour. I've been on stages that was 30 minutes. And it's like, okay, we see those are the companies that you are asking you to stage that you want to look for. Where it's like, okay, we see, oh, okay, you know what you're doing. Come on back. Let's sit down and talk about this job offer. There are some companies that will use you for free labor, or have no intent on hiring people, not even hiring at the time, but because your staff or whatever the case is, will get someone to come in there and stage, which is work for free, to help them out. You got to be, this is the reason I'm making this video. You got to be very aware, you know what I'm saying, of what's going on. So like I said, stages are like 2 to 3 hours, which I'm going to be honest with you. I have been working in the culinary field for pretty much all my life. And I don't like doing stages. I don't. It's not my thing. I hate it because it feels like I'm being taken advantage of. But there are companies, I'm not going to lie, there are companies that really just want to make sure that you can do what your resume says you can do before they hire you, because they're offering you 16 an hour, 15. If you go to a company and they're like, oh yeah, can you come stage for us? But they paying 13 an hour, don't do it. I mean, I guess, don't do it. Like for me as a chef, 15, 16 an hour. And that's living in the state of Georgia. If I was still back home in New York, the standards would be higher. No more than 18, 19. But the cost of living is higher there. So you just got to weigh out your demographics. So I'm just breaking it down to let anyone know, working in the culinary field, when someone asks you to stage, what you should do. Okay, so first things first, if a company asks you to stage, ask them how much they're paying, period. Off top, period. How much are you paying? Because before you go in there and show them what you can do for that job, how am I going to show you what I can do for this job? And I don't even know if the pay is, you know what I'm saying? Raise your standards. You're interviewing them too. That's 1. 2, like I said, it should be no more 2.5 hours, 3 hours. Okay, do not have them people have you there all day, and you're working for free, and you're really putting your own in there. That's damn near slavery. Like, no, that's a dub. And then you mess around, you get to the end of the day, and also if you go on a stage, you should be fed, drink, because you're asking someone to come into your establishment, come back there, don't know nothing, and work for free. Just to show you they can do it. That's taking advantage. Like I said, I don't like stages. But this is something in the culinary world. Okay, it is. I personally don't like it. But that's what it is. So 2 to 3 hours. You should get a meal. You should get something to drink. After you finish staging, you should be sitting down with a manager to let you know what's up. Hire, no, whatever, before you leave out that door. Otherwise, it's a waste of time. So, as far as stages are concerned, because I've worked in the food service industry for so long, there are companies that will seriously waste your time or take advantage of you. And that's the only reason that I'm making this video, is because I know there are people out there, and it's usually cooks that have just graduated from culinary school, and the things that they teach you in culinary school, they don't tell you about that type of stuff. Or interns, things like that. At the end of the day, we're all here to make money. You better believe they making money. So if you graduate from culinary school, whatever the case may be, just be real careful about them stages. Or what you call it, a contract. Just make your money. Because I'm telling you now, the shit that we learn in culinary school is nothing like when you're on the floor. It's really not. Everything in culinary school is book work. It's all mirepoix and five mother sauces and how you do a batnay carrot and all of that stuff. Has nothing to do with when you are actually working. None of that is used. That's just the real. So, take what I said into consideration. And on the positive side of stages, it is completely at your discretion. You get to choose if that's something you want to do, if you want to go and work or perform, because it's pretty much a performance. That's why it's called a stage. And show these people what you can do. I'm not saying don't do it. I have been on plenty of stages. And I actually used to love doing stages when I first started out because it gave me a chance to show what I can do. But just be aware of those companies or establishments that you may run into who are really have no intent on hiring you, or whatever they're offering you is not really what they're... I just feel like if you're not offering much, the nerve of you to ask someone to stage, which is work for free. So just be aware of that. But if you come across a good stage, there are good stages out there. There are companies that I have worked for personally where it's like, hey, come stage for us in maybe an hour or 45 minutes, an hour and 15 minutes. They like, okay, hey, they know what they doing. Like, okay, I see you. Da 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 da. All right, come, let's sit down. You hired. What's up? When can you start? Where they're really like, we just wanted to make sure you could do what your resume says you can, or what you're saying that you can. So there are those companies that be dead serious and the pay be wonderful. So those are the stages you should be looking for. So whenever you go interviewing, whatever the case may be, do not be afraid to ask those questions. How much is the position hiring? Is it full-time? Before you just go working for people for free. All I'm saying. So, subscribe to Chef Brittany's World. This was just a slight discussion I wanted to have. Follow me on Instagram, Monet's Gourmet, which is my catering business, which is what this is based off of. But a lot of people don't realize that I really like working the culinary world. Like, yeah, and been doing it for quite some time. So that was just a tip for y'all. Follow me, like, subscribe, comment. And happy fall. It's fall. Be blessed.